Reading of the chapter The Rat Trap. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat trap of wire. Obviously, rat traps are made of wire, and this man, because I told you that it's just a fairy tale in the form of a fairy tale, the man used to move here and there selling the rat trap which he used to make. He made them himself at odd hours, moments from the material he got by begging. The wires even he used to beg from somebody in the store or at the big farms. But even so, the business was not especially profitable. What can you say? How we can say that the business was profitable? What is a rat trap? It's just a device to catch a rat in a trap. So the device, how many devices, such devices we can keep at home? Only one, two, not more than that. So how we can say that he was having a profitable business? No. So he had to resort to both begging or petty thievery. So he has to depend on what? Either to beg from the people to survive, or he used to steal the things from here and there just to keep his body and soul together. Even so, his clothing were in rags. Clothings he used to wear the rags, totally torn clothes, old. His cheeks were sunken. He was so weak. You can see as if he was malnourished, and hunger gleamed in his eyes. Whenever you can see the man, you see that he is hungry everywhere. He is having some sort of greed in his eyes. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. Vagabond is one who roams about here and there purposelessly. So life is very sad, very monotonous, very alone. Who plods along the road, left to his own meditations. When the man was moving on the road, he was lost in his meditations, in his thoughts only. But one day, this man had fallen into a line of thoughts. One day he thought something different, which really seemed to him entertaining. He had naturally been thinking of his rat traps. He was just looking at the rat trap and thinking about when suddenly he is struck by the idea that the whole world about him, the whole world with its lands and rich seas, the cities, the villages, and nothing was nothing but a big rat trap. All these things are just sort of attraction. It had never existed for any other purpose than to set baits for people. Bait is sort of attraction to attract towards it. It offered riches and joys. What the world is offering, what the world is giving to the man: shelter, food, somewhere, heat, and clothing, exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. What we offer in a rat trap to attract a rat to get into the trap, we used to give the piece of chapati, pork, cheese nowadays. And as soon as anyone let himself be tempted, let himself be attracted, try to touch that bait, it closed in on him, and then everything came to an end. The moment you just see, the moment the rat touches that piece of chapati, or what you can say, pork, the trap closes. The rat is inside the trap. Same is the thing with the human being. When we just try to touch those attractions, to get those attractions, to fulfill the greed, then we are caught in that snare. The world had, of course, never been very kind to him, so it gave him unwanted, an immense pleasure for him, to joy to think ill of him. He used to think ill, bad of others in this way. It became a cherished pastime of his during many dreary ploddings. When he himself was all alone, plodding, wandering over here and there, he used to think ill of other people. To think of people, he just think of all those people he knew them who had let themselves be caught in that dangerous snare. He remembered the people, those who were attracted towards such attraction, and of those who were still circling around the bait. And there are some people, those who are, you can say, wise. They just think about before being caught in this snare, being attracted by the attraction. Have you seen ever? You just put the rat trap somewhere and then just see the movement of the rat. It will come around near the rat trap, look all around, then make a round around the rat trap, then goes back. Again it comes. That means it's circling around that bait, but helplessly is attracted, touch that bait, and is caught. One dark evening, as he was trotting along the road, he caught sight of a little grey cottage. When he was wandering on the road, he saw a cottage because it was getting dark and he himself was feeling very hungry, and he knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night. He just knocked the door of that cottage and he wanted to get the shelter just to spend the night, nor was he refused. The reason was the owner of the house himself was a lonely person, because loneliness is another theme of this chapter. So he entertained the man, allowed the man to come inside. Instead of sore faces which ordinarily met him, the owner, who was an old man without wife or children, was happy to get someone to talk to in his loneliness. The owner of the man was also happy to have a guest in the house to talk to him. Immediately he put the porridge pot on the fire. He started making the dinner for the guest and gave him the supper. When he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll, he made the tobacco for himself and for his guest, offered him. Finally, he got out an old pack of cards and they played the Mizolis, the cards game, with that guest till the bed night. Before going to the bed, they spent a long time playing the game together. During this time, they have become very friendly. The old man was just as generous with his confidence as with his porridge and tobacco. With a friendly manner, he served the dinner, he gave the tobacco to the man in the same confidence that he is a good friend of mine. He has shown all his saving to the man. The guest was informed at once that in his days of prosperity, when the days were good, when he was a rich man, his host had been a crofter at Ramsos Ironwork and had worked on the land. After leaving the factory, he worked as a farmer, but now that he was no longer able to do any labor, he is not able to do any hard work, any physical work. It was his cow which supported him. Now he is having a cow. That cow gives the milk, extraordinary milk, very creamy milk. She could give milk for the creamery every day, and the last month he had received all of 30 kanor in the payment. He used to sell the milk of the cow now, and with that he get the money to survive. The stranger must have seemed incredulous, for the old man got up and went to the window. Now, what the old man did, he went to the window and took out a leather pouch which hung on the nail. Window means you must have seen the window frame, chagat, which we call to. In that window frame, there was a nail on which there was a leather pouch, a purse. Took down a leather pouch which hung on the nail in the very window frame and picked out three wrinkled 10 kanor bills. The three 10 kanor notes were their currency. Those as These he held up before his eyes of the guest, nodding, and what he said, nodding knowingly, telling him knowingly, and then stuffed them back into the pouch. After showing the money, he put that money back into the pouch and hung the pouch on the same nail in the window frame. Now, what was that? Showing the money to the vagabond was nothing like a bait, like a attraction. So the next day both men got up in good season. Weather was very fine. They both got up. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow because it is his business now. So he was to go, and the other man probably thought, the guest also thought it, that he should not stay in the bed when the head of the house had gotten up. So it's not good that he is still sleeping. The crofter locked the door. They left the cottage at the same time. The crofter locked the door and put the key in his pocket. The man with the rat trap said goodbye and thank you. Whatever the man has done for him, he paid his thanks for that, and they thereupon each went on their own way. The man was to milk the cow, and he was to go on his own way. They both left